Sporgy.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Bodega, Alpha and Omega. Siamese sailors sell celery sandwiches. Sawing-a-bada, serving platter.
Hey, Jamie?
Yes?
Did you want to try reading that line on the script there?
Oh, yeah, let's see. You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, that one?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm just not warmed up yet. Shouldn't be long. Detector test.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive today.
The marmot mangled my mushy pork pancake.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Masspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Masspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Welcome to Sporgy, the show that gives you half-ass sports fans giving their half-ass opinions. And now, here are your hosts.
All right, it's the Fantasy Hack for Week 6. I'm Chris. With me is JR and Jack.
Yo, everyone.
Hola.
Survived another week of the COVID crisis.
I hope this is it, right? I hope that... Because it seems to be everyone else has their shit together. It seems that the Titans obviously violated a protocol somewhere. We record this on Tuesday night, and Tuesday Night Football just ended a little bit ago. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but as soon as I saw another a COVID test for the Titans on Sunday, I took out all my bills. I took out any bills and Titans. I just didn't want to mess with it.
No way they were playing this game this week.
Yeah, I benched Josh Allen, which I would have lost in that league anyway, so I'm not mad at it. But yeah, I was on the golf course, maybe had a couple drinks. I was like, you know what, I don't want to deal with this. All Bills, all Titans, you're done. You're on the bench because I don't trust it. And they played the game anyway. I went 2-3 this week. How'd you guys do?
You know what? I didn't really tally it up. I probably went 5-6. I didn't do that great. I did win my big money league, so I won the most important league that means the most, and I won the second most important. So, but a lot of my lower tier leagues that were either for beer prizes or just for pride, I didn't do so well. I got throttled in the Sporgy League. And thanks DJ Chark. I guess I shouldn't say that because he got hurt. Not his fault, but that was kind of a bummer.
Again? Like he got, or are you just saying thanks for nothing because he's... I was busy most of this Sunday. Like I know he was injured a couple weeks. Did he get injured again, or he just... He
got injured again, yeah.
Oh, yay.
I think he only got his stats were like really pedestrian. I think he went out early. He only had 1 or 2 catches I think he got 1 point.
Yeah.
Had him in a lot of leagues, and I just brought him back I was like, all right, I got Chark back. And then the other guy that kind of hurt me was I had a lot of Jefferson from the Vikings. I picked him up in a bunch of leagues, and he had 2 great weeks in a row, and I think he had a 2-point week. So, and I had a couple guys on my bench that put some good points up, but I had the wrong guys in. And then in one league, which thankfully not a money league, but I needed a roster spot because I got cute and thought I'm going to pick up Justin Jackson from the Chargers. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to need Madison anymore. I have Dalvin Cook, and I had Madison as a handcuff. It's like 5 bench spots. So I'm like, I never use him. I'm going to cut him for Justin Jackson. And that turned out to be a genius move, didn't it? Who would have thought?
Yeah. How about you?
But hey, got a feel for Dak Prescott. Prayers with him, man. Nobody likes to see, you guys know I despise the Cowboys as an Eagles fan, but no one likes to see that happen to anybody. And he's a human being first, and wish him all the best. And we can't ignore that for fantasy. That's going to be a tough roster spot to fill because he was having an amazing year. Yeah,
he was definitely carrying a guy in our league, and then I'm in another league. He was carrying that, and now it's.
Yep.
And what is hilarious, in one of my matchups, I had Josh Allen. He had Dak Prescott. I offered to trade him Dak Prescott straight up for Josh Allen because I have Amari Cooper, and he said no.
Ooh.
So now I'd laugh at him. Well, hey, should have made that trade.
No, I wouldn't have made that trade either. I can understand why he didn't. But.
Then
had the another a good game on Thursday night with the Nick Foles beat Tom Brady again.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And Brady had the ball with a minute left, and all he needed was a field goal. They were only down by 1, and he didn't get it done.
He forgot. It's getting old. They say the first thing that goes to memory, right? He forgot what down it was.
Oh, yeah, he thought it was 4th down. That was hilarious. He's like holding up 4 fingers to the refs. I'm like, no, you don't get a 5th down, Tom. You might be getting a yellow jacket someday, but you ain't there yet.
I think I got a friend who's a Bucks fan, and he said, no, it's just part of the helmet. You put it on, you forget how to play football.
Well, it was a pretty entertaining game, and I was happy for Foles.
How'd you do this week, Jack?
I won in about half of my leagues, lost about half, but I had some close games this week, like 1-2 point deciders. But my 2 bums of the week are the 49ers defense for giving up 43 points to the Dolphins and getting me a -4 that cost me the victory in one league, and Matt Ryan for getting 220 yards and a pick, no touchdowns, a fat 6 points. So, thanks.
Yeah, welcome to bye-bye. And most of the teams I got Matt Ryan on, he's going to be gone after waivers.
Well, and Chris, you called it. Dan Quinn is no longer. You called that a couple weeks ago. I think he lasted a week longer than you expected.
Yeah, well, unfortunately they had to get another L for him to go.
Well, you never know. Maybe a change will help. Nowhere to go but up if you're a Falcons fan.
Yeah, but still, I mean, is there any Falcons player worth rostering right now? Calvin Ridley, end of list. Julio's
Gurley on the bench in a few leagues.
It's really to think that Matt Ryan is not. I mean, he had some big 300-400 yard games at the beginning. What happened? Is it just because Julio's hurt? Now they just don't have enough weapons?
He's got Ridley. They got Russell Gage. But Russell Gage, that's another guy who looked like he's going to be something, and he's not.
But Gurley actually had a pretty solid day, didn't he? I thought I got pretty good points out of him.
Yeah, but the thing is, Gurley's being Gurley. He's not being consistent. You get a good day, you get a so-so day. You get a good day, that's Todd Gurley, right? If you've been playing fantasy for a long time.
Yeah, but I don't think he's somebody you're going to sit very often. You're probably going to roll the dice with him, depending on who you have on your roster. There's a lot of weird unknown players come out of the woodwork this week. In the Eagles-Steeler game, you had Claypool with a 4-touchdown game. And then you had Travis Fulgham.
I told you guys. I had him on a bunch of teams.
152.
I didn't start him, but I mean, he's been a waiver wire pickup because there's like in the Sporgy League that we're in. I told you guys, my team is a mess in that league. I got Christian McCaffrey on IR. One of my starting receivers was Cortland Sutton, and my flex was Jarvis Landry. So that team is just a mess for me right now. So I need receivers. So I did just on a whim last week, and then he did it again 2 weeks in a row, so maybe he's a thing right now. Which, by the way, drafted by the Detroit Lions originally.
Yeah, and they're talking about in Philly that, hey, there's help on the way. Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson are coming back. I don't want to take Fulgham out of the lineup right now. I'd rather have him in there than Jeffrey. I really would. So, anyway.
Well, yeah, Jeffrey's been coasting off of like 2 good seasons like 7 years ago.
Yeah, and Jeffrey will come back for like 2 games and then he'll be gone again because he's a China doll now.
Yeah.
I wish the Eagles would pull a Le'Veon Bell and just give him his walking papers and move on. But they signed him to a really ridiculous contract that he never deserved. And the Eagles are burned by that. I think this is the last year, though.
Because what? Because he made the Bears' offense relevant for a couple seasons, so the Eagles are like, hey, have a bunch of money.
Yeah, he's going to be gone. He will not be in Philadelphia. As soon as his contract's up, he's gone. I'm surprised he's still in the roster. I would have just cut my losses by now. But then again, we didn't know we had Travis Fulgham. But I watched some of that Eagles game, even though I was camping. I was watching it on my phone. That was a real challenge. But some of those catches he made were like amazing catches. It's not like, he's just making easy. He was like making some going up for balls and winning the battle, like on the jump balls. He made some very impressive catches. And hey, you know what? If he's available on waivers, I'd take a stab at him. You can't deny 10 catches. I mean, that's huge. 10 for 152.
For now, he seems it's a volume play, right? You're going to go with Carson Wentz is going to go with the hot hand right now. He's going to be. We talked about the Eagles' receiving core. It is just it is decimated as being nice.
Yeah, it's ugly. It's real ugly.
It seems like he's going to be the guy that's going to get the ball.
Zach Ertz hasn't done anything. He's not the Zach Ertz of old. A lot of people in Philly are turning on him, saying that he's not balling out. They think he's like, it's his last year of his contract, and he's just not, giving 100%.
Well, he can't throw the ball to himself.
I understand that, and the Steelers' game plan, I think, was to take him out of there because he's the biggest threat we had that the Eagles have. So, and Charles Claypool and Jack picked him up in the league like 2 weeks ago.
Chase Claypool.
Yeah, Chase Claypool, not
Charles. I was like scrolling through the the recommended pickups a couple weeks back, and I saw Claypool's name. I was like, what the heck? Forget I had somebody like on IR or something. I had like a Sterling Shepard. I cut him for Claypool. What the heck? And then, I had him on the bench this week, which sucks, but still, I think I won in that league.
Yeah, you did, and you know what? He's on your roster now, so that's going to be a hot waiver pickup this week. We might as well go right into waiver pickups. So let's see. Who are the hot names? Alexander Madison. Dalvin Cook owners. The inevitable has occurred. He's hurt. So Alexander Madison will be the hot pickup. And, of course, I picked up Justin Jackson and dropped him this week. That's why I love gin so much. Gin and bourbon. Numb the pain of stupidity. But so Madison's really the only running back I see that's viable. Is there anybody else running back-wise that's worth looking at right now?
For this week, no. Jack, what do you... You're usually the guy monitoring the transaction.
I'm looking at the transaction trends, see who people are picking up. All right. Everybody's adding that wide receiver from the Bills that just went off. All right, let's see. Let's go to running back.
Running back is really...
Oh, well, number one, we have Darrington Evans for the Titans. I don't even know who this guy is. I think everybody was picking him up in case, Henry didn't play. Jamal Williams up there. Yeah, Justin Jackson's at number 3. TJ, really? You're picking up TJ Yeldon? Like, what? Why?
Really?
Like, he had a touchdown.
It's not 2015.
Today, 7:50 p.m. TJ Yeldon looks like the best Buffalo running back in Week 5. Really?
All you need to know that the waiver wire is thin on running backs.
Very
slim. So you're going to be looking at Andy Dalton, obviously. He'll be now the field general for the Dallas Cowboys.
The Red Rocket relaunching down in Dallas.
Big Red. We'll see if he can perform. Now that he's not in a Bengals uniform, he might actually do something. Too bad he can't play defense in Dallas, though, because Dallas defense is atrocious.
See, that's the problem, though, is that Dallas
almost
defense.
Lost to the Giants. That's all you need to know about that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking on RotoWire, and Kirk Cousins is on there. I don't really want any part of him, but...
Hey, they're on a bye next week, but if Justin Herbert's still available, grab him. I mean, that kid...
Yeah, if he's available, then that's a no-brainer, but... I picked him up in a couple leagues. I started him in a league this week, and I reaped the benefits. Tua watch is on, but I don't think Fitzpatrick's coming out anytime soon.
I don't think it's not worth it to pick him up.
And if you have to go to Kyle Allen, gosh, God bless you.
If Miami's still getting dubs, they're not starting Tua.
Oh, you know who is starting, though? Mr. Frank Gore, running back 1.
Oh, yeah, RB1.
New York Jets.
Or Le'Veon Bell, so...
Frank Gore is a starting running back in the NFL.
So where do we think Le'Veon Bell lands? Because he's too talented to not have a gig.
I'm thinking San Francisco.
Yeah.
That's a good... Well, I mean, they have a lot of mouths to feed already.
San Francisco would be a good fit.
Baltimore.
I don't think Baltimore needs him.
No, they have too many. Well, I don't know. Maybe the Giants. Well, they signed Devontae Freeman, so
I don't think that anybody in New York wants anything to do with him, and not even the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Although the Giants probably are tanking anyway, but they're not going to shell out money for him after seeing the poor effort he had for the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 49ers would be a good fit for him. I'm sure there's some others out there. What about the Chargers? Justin Jack.
Chargers are a good one.
Not really doing much. That might be a play since Eckler went down.
Yeah, West Coast.
Washington football team.
Oh. Oof.
I don't think he's going to stay on the East Coast. I think he's going to.
Way things have went this year, he'll probably be a Buccaneer.
Right.
Yeah.
But what does it say about the Jets, though? The Jets are just. Is this the white flag already in week 6?
I think that those Le'Veon Bell and Adam Gase just didn't get along, and I think Adam Gase, this is his way of saying, I know you're going to fire me, but I'm going to get rid of you first. I think Gase's days are numbered. He's the next Dan Quinn. The next domino to fall will be the Jets coach. But knowing the Jets, they won't want to pay anybody, so they'll just let him ride the season out and fire him at the end. So they don't have to eat his contract.
That was the best thing I saw all day. ESPN Power Rankings for NFL. Number 32, New York Jets. Biggest weakness, football.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, Jets, just end the season. So you got Claypool, another guy that might be available on waivers and was on a couple of my rosters till I cut him. And, of course, as soon as I cut him, he has a big day. Henry Ruggs caught a couple bombs, 118 yards and a score.
Yeah, the Raiders beating the Chiefs. How about that, huh?
I didn't see that happen.
Did somebody have that as a bold prediction?
Nope. I just checked.
Nobody had that.
Someone did, but nope.
Herbert blew it. Herbert was great, and then
They were Buffalo. They laid an egg, but we'll get into that because there was one winner this week. I don't like to spoil that. We'll wait till bold predictions comes up for that. So we already talked about Fulgham, Henry Ruggs, Brandon Cooks. I'm not sold.
No, don't. Hey, anyone who's been playing a while knows, don't do it.
12 targets, 8 receptions, 161 yards, and a touchdown.
And next week I'll have 1 catch for 2 yards.
Ruggs is the preferred target, while Cooks is the better option in full-point PPR formats. Okay. Don't go there. Don't go there.
I have sat and waited multiple fantasy seasons for Brandon Cooks to sit there and do something, and he doesn't. Like the best season he had was when he played for Drew Brees, and Drew Brees would throw him a long bomb every couple games, and that's how you get fantasy points out of him.
Yeah, so really nothing at all to report on the tight end front. Other than notably, the Packers had a bye last week, so there could be availability of the Green Bay tight end that had the huge day on Monday night.
No, I snapped him up. Like I own a lot of him.
Yeah.
I snapped him up just to bench him, just because.
I can't even remember his name. Can you guys remember it?
Tanyan?
Yeah, Tanyan.
So Tanyan, I saw maybe, just maybe, somebody didn't pick him up because he had a bye week last week. But if he's available, go get him. And I can't think of anybody else.
Well, I was going to say, I'm pretty sold on Ryan Tannehill 5 weeks into the season. 4 touchdowns tonight? Yeah, 4 touchdowns tonight. He did only about 195 yards, but 4 touchdowns? Dang.
Yeah.
He's averaging like 45 points on the year. He's putting up good numbers. I mean, why not? I'll check him on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, it's respectable fantasy numbers.
Be very interesting to see how Big Red does in Dallas. That's going to be something to see.
That's going to be something.
Well, that defense, it's going to be fun. Like, that's just about my whole argument for Dallas is Dak threw for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns, and they still lost. Their defense is the problem. Like,
it's really bad.
Dak did his job and then some that game, and they still lost. Real quick, Jared Goff. I know we talked a bunch of shit about him, but he's averaging a respectable amount of fantasy points this year. Like, I heard a good quote about him today. He won't lose you your season or your matchup if he's starting for you. If he's on the waiver wire, it's maybe an additional name to mention. But yeah, I went through everything all my claims I put in. We've hit all the big sexy names for this week.
Is it time, if you haven't already done so, to just completely pull the plug on T.Y. Hilton?
I'd say so.
I think so.
Phillip Rivers had made it clear that T.Y. Hilton is not his favorite target, and T.Y. Hilton has made it clear that he's not the T.Y. Hilton of old.
Yeah, I picked him up off of waivers, and I had him for 1 week, and I dropped him already, so not regretting it.
Yeah. And Mo Alley-Cox, he had a good run, but he looks like he's going to be touchdown dependent. So.
He had 0 targets, didn't he?
Thanks for the goose egg this week, buddy.
Sure he had 0 targets. They didn't even go to him.
I have a league where I have Noah Fant, and Mo Alley was my backup. I was like, all right, you're on, and thanks for nothing. Oh, God, I hate to say this. For tight ends, if you're on the waiver wire, I don't want to say this sentence because I feel like I'm going to jinx it, but it looks like Jimmy Graham might be a thing this year. He had a good game Thursday night, fantasy-wise. So he's got a decent. He's averaging a decent. He's averaging over double digits in points for a tight end. And that's good. So I begrudgingly say, if you're desperate for a tight end, Jimmy Graham, if he's out there, you have worse options. I feel like I need to gargle with mouthwash after saying that.
Yeah. It's rough.
Yeah. So the schedule, no Thursday night this week.
No Thursday night. That's COVID ruined that too, or was that designed because of baseball playoffs?
No, that was part of all of the reshuffling for moving the Patriots game to next week and moving the Bills to Tuesday and all that. So what happened is the Thursday night game goes bye-bye this week. So let's
look. Do the Bills have to play on Sunday? That's tough.
Yeah.
That is tough.
They moved them to Monday night.
They did? Okay.
I thought I heard on the broadcast tonight that they're playing Monday night. There's going to be 2 Monday night games.
Yeah, we get another magical Monday, which, I can say the one thing that the one good byproduct of COVID has been like, we're now going to have our 3rd Monday night with 2 games. That's pretty cool. I'm liking that. 2 Monday night games is awesome. You're never going to convince me otherwise.
City, Buffalo at 2:00. Oh, that's my time. So that would be 5:00.
Wow,
Eastern.
5:00.
5:00 Eastern, and then 8:00.
Early football.
Arizona at Dallas.
Yeah.
Get to see the Andy Dalton Cowboys host the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
And be careful this week with your lineups. You're missing some teams. It's first big week of buys. Las Vegas Raiders, New Orleans Saints, Los Angeles Chargers, and Seattle Seahawks all going to be on the bye. So
Russell won't be pulling his magic this week.
Really got to hope that there's no COVID stuff because, man, rosters are already getting thin now.
Man, I really think other than the Tennessee Titans, the NFL's done a good job. There's been, other than the Titans.
Newton's scare was kind of bad, but it seems like he's fine.
Yeah.
What else really?
Who's trying to play?
Yeah. And other than that, it's been like a handful of people. Like I said, other than the Bonehead Titans.
And the Bonehead Titans are playing on Sunday. So they're not any breaks from the league.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I think they're going to get a nice fine for some of the.
I think they might be able to kiss goodbye a 4th-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they got to send a message that everybody's got to cooperate for this thing to work. Start breaking the rules. It's a house of cards waiting to fall.
Sporty.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Progressive presents an interview with your upstairs neighbor.
Hey, it's Rick from upstairs. Yeah, I take it seriously. When I play R&B at 1 a.m, that's me saying, hey, I'm here for you. And I enjoy repetitive bass lines. I only use expired batteries in my smoke detectors. Nice, right? Yeah, upstairs neighbors help people forget their troubles. Give them something else to focus on. Ooh, want to see how high I can jump?
Progressive can't save you from your upstairs neighbor.
No, wait, let me try again.
But we can save you money when you bundle renters and auto insurance with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth, and always open at homedepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Hey, what do you want to da-da-da? I don't know. What do y'all think we should da-da-da? Well, what did we do yesterday? Yesterday. Oh, the does feel like the same day these days. I know. Like, is today Monday or Tuesday? Today is Thursday. Oh, no, I forgot to call my mom on her birthday. Oh, no. No.
These days, nothing is normal and everything is weird. But you could still save big when you switch to Progressive. That won't change. Not today or any day.
Quote today at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporty.
So let's start into the games. Houston at Tennessee. What happened to Houston? They actually looked like a football team. I think they were happy to see Bill O'Brien departed.
Hey, they fired him. They got to win.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of unhappy players there. And love Coach O'Brien. He did great things for Penn State. But I think that decision to trade D-Hop, I think, really, really alienated a lot of people. And I heard a lot of the players really were kind of revolting against him. It was just an ugly thing.
I doubt he gets an NFL job ever again. Well, at least a head coaching job. Maybe D coordinator or something.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy that. I think, time heals all wounds. He'll probably be out for this year, and in the offseason somebody will hire him. He's a good coach.
Oh, come on. He traded DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson.
Well, and then what they should have done is taken the general manager away from him. He's a good football.
That's what happened to Chip Kelly. They gave him power, and he destroyed the league. I mean, he destroyed the franchise. Traded McCoy away.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true. So anyway, that doesn't really have fantasy implications, but the game does. Houston at Tennessee. Tennessee looked awfully good today. Will they be effective on a short week? We'll see. That's pretty short.
Deshaun Watson looks like he's showing signs of life fantasy-wise.
Thank God.
Yeah. David Johnson.
He's so inconsistent.
Just give me 14 points. That's all I need out of you every game. Just give me 4. At this point, I don't need you to have a huge day. Just give me 14, 15 points.
And he's giving you 6 or 8.
Yeah. Let the Christian McCaffreys of the world give me 30. Just give me 14, 15, man.
But I'm starting. Who else are you starting in that game?
Jonnu Smith, Derrick Henry.
Maybe Tannehill's in the quarterback conversation, especially with some bye weeks. Probably not your number one, but if you got somebody on a bye week.
Russell Wilson's gone.
Yeah.
What about the Houston receivers?
No. Antonio Brown, and they finally sign him. I'm telling you, that's where he needs to go. They need a receiver so bad.
Yes, they do.
Is that where Brandon Cooks is now?
No, Cooks is with the Raiders, isn't he?
What? No, I thought he was with the Texans.
You're right.
Yeah.
I think he is in Houston.
Yeah, it's Brandon Cooks. It's Will Fuller.
Will Fuller, that's who I was.
I have some Will Fuller this week because of bye weeks, but that's tough.
I sold early on all my Will Fuller because I had him in a bunch of leagues because I got Deshaun Watson. But
yeah, Will Fuller will fool you.
Yeah, you can only wait so long for somebody to score points.
How about the Cincinnati Bungles at the Colts in Indianapolis?
Oof.
That Colts defense is quietly getting it done.
Oh, yeah.
They struggle. The Colts lost this week, but that defense is still effective.
Still number one in the league.
And, we'll see. Joe Burrow seems to be progressing nicely, but he's going to be tested by this Colts defense. I see a lot of people starting to buy the hype on Joe Mixon again. I'm seeing a lot of trade offers involving Joe Mixon. I would only be trading him away. I would never trade for Joe Mixon. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
If you have A.J. Green, if you haven't dropped him by now, it's time to.
Yeah.
See ya.
He's seen better days. I think the end could be near Mr. Green.
It's clearly all about Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins as far as catching the ball.
So Joe Burrow, who knows? Maybe they'll have to throw a lot because they'll be behind, but you're probably desperate if you're starting Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
You're probably also desperate if you're starting Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
He really had a big day here. Jonathan Taylor.
He's a starter still.
Anybody else of note? We already said
on
no.
the Colts.
By Hilton. What about Zach Pascal? That's probably a bye-week fill-in at best.
Yeah, and then you want no tight ends. You don't want Doyle. You don't want Cox.
But start that Colts defense. Probably start there.
Yeah.
That's probably all we're getting out of that game. Then you got the struggling Atlanta Falcons at the Minnesota Vikings, who had the W sewn up and couldn't get 1 inch on 4th down and 1 inch.
Well, because they played Russell Wilson. That's why they couldn't win that game.
And the coach said, well, I like their defense. They still had to go 95 yards down the field. That didn't really seem too tough for Mr. Wilson.
Exactly. You got Russell Wilson on the other side. You're screwed.
He carved up that defense.
That's what goes on this year. Like that, Seattle is like my favorite team in the league right now.
The difference between those two teams, Seattle always finds a way to win. Minnesota always finds a way to lose.
Russell Wilson is saying, "Here's why you gave me here's why you gave me some generational wealth in the offseason." And he's just proven he's worth every penny he got.
So your Atlanta Falcons, I heard some negative opinions on starting Matt Ryan. I would probably still start him though, unless you have a better option. Calvin Ridley, I would start. Julio Jones is perpetually hurt. I have him on a roster. He's almost dead to me. I'm just disgusted that I drafted him. And Hayden Hurst, I had high hopes for him. I figured he would take that Austin Hooper role from last year. He's been a bust. The whole Falcons have been a bust.
Yeah, the only Falcon I would confidently tell people to start is Ridley.
Yep.
Everybody else.
Minnesota, Dalvin Cook's hurt now, so Madison's going to be the pickup of the week if you first on your waivers, snag him. He'll be good for a week or two, and then I read that Cook isn't that bad. He'll probably miss a week or two. But Justin Jefferson, maybe I was buying the hype 2 good weeks in a row. I put him in my lineup. He got 2 points last week, so temper your expectations there. He's a rookie.
Thielen's a starter.
Well, that Atlanta defense is pretty suspect. Thielen, you have to start Thielen. Thielen.
Yeah.
Or Thielen. That's about it. Oh, Young Ho Koo is back as the kicker for Atlanta. He's back off IR if you're desperate for a kicker. But not really high on the Falcons.
Yeah.
Denver at New England. New England's well rested.
Broncos. Melvin Gordon?
Yeah, is Lindsey? I think Philip Lindsay's almost healthy. That might be a 2-headed monster now. So watch out for that, especially at the New England defense. I don't think there's going to be probably not a great week for Denver running backs playing the Patriots in Foxborough.
Is Tim Patrick a thing?
No.
Okay.
No, especially against the New England D.
So you guys are saying don't believe the hype?
Don't believe it. What about Damian Harris for the Patriots?
Speaking of don't believe the hype, it's a Patriots running back, man. Come on.
Yeah, it's like a Russian roulette. Never know what you're going to get. So we say it every week. The only Patriot you can start is Edelman. Maybe, just maybe Cam Newton. Maybe. If you have a quarterback in a bye week and you're desperate. The Patriots are a good, solid football team, but they're just a train wreck for fantasy players.
They always have been.
Yep. And Bill Belichick doesn't give a crap about any fantasy stuff.
No, Belichick deals in the real world. He plays real world football.
Yep. Washington at New York. Oh, could you imagine have to watch this thing?
Ugh. And
the Washington football team, they finally pulled the plug on Dwayne Haskins. They made him inactive last week. You go from being the starter to be like you're not even on the active roster.
Don't even dress.
He's not even doing that bad. Like he had like a career low in picks, but I mean, really, what does he have to work with? Nothing.
Ron Rivera.
McLaurin.
I think Kyle Allen was his boy from Carolina, and he really wanted to get him in there, and he struggled. And then Alex Smith came in. Great story. Glad he's back. I heard he played okay. I heard an interview today on Sirius XM, a really nice interview.
Still in his mid-30s.
Hey, we're all happy he's back.
Yeah.
No one ever expected to see him in a football uniform again. Frankly, if that was me, I wouldn't go anywhere near a football field.
Let's be honest.
So I give him credit, man. He's back. But you know what? He's back, and he's playing for one of the worst teams in football. But he's facing one of the worst teams in football. So one of these teams got to win, unless it's going to be a tie. But
and his leg being fixed doesn't make him not old. Like, he's still in his mid-30s. He's not going to be the best option at quarterback for you.
Well, there is nothing to be gained by Washington playing Alex Smith.
Yeah.
And I think Kyle Allen is going to be the starter. I think I heard that today, but I don't understand. I guess they're going to try to trade Haskins or something, or just release him. I mean, he's a first-round pick. I mean, you got to throw the guy in. You have nothing to play for. Let him develop a little bit. You pulled the plug too quick on him, in my opinion. For Kyle Allen or Alex Smith, really? And so anybody else? I guess Antonio Gibson. People seem to think he's a thing. Maybe against the Giants. McLaurin, we always say that's probably a start, especially against the Giants. What do you do for the Giants?
Nobody. Nothing.
Yeah, that's right. We had a rule. No New York players this year. None. Although Slayton has been putting up some.
I have Slayton in a few leagues. I like him.
I mean, somebody's got to catch it. It's the Chuck and Duck. We'll see what happens. Daniel Jones, man. I can't believe I had him as my backup quarterback. I thought he was going to have a big year this year, and he's going backwards, man. Maybe they should just trade Daniel Jones for Haskins just for this one game. Let's see what happens if we trade quarterbacks. Oh, and then we go to the next game. Baltimore at Philadelphia. Can't wait to get mauled by the Ravens.
Oh, yes.
The good news for the Eagles is after this week, they play the Giants. The bad news is this week they play the Ravens.
And they'll probably lose to the Giants because that's how the world works.
I'm only thinking this week, and I think it's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be a big day for Lamar Jackson. You got all those three-headed monster running backs that, it's not worth having any of them because, J.K. Dobbins, I've already cut bait on him in a couple leagues.
He's still like 60% rostered. It surprises me. Like, he's not done very much.
I already got rid of him.
Field Yates said today, the Ravens' backfield has no fantasy implications whatsoever. That's a bold statement, but it's kind of true.
Gus Edwards, Mark Ingram, and J.K. Dobbins, and, three-headed monster equals nothing.
Not to mention Lamar runs a lot.
Brown's coming around, and of course Mark Andrews is a solid play.
Mm-hmm.
I would start Hollywood Brown against the Eagles secondary all day long, and Mark Andrews is going to tear up. The Philadelphia Eagles have no linebackers. I'm an Eagles fan. I know it. You know it. We saw what Chase Claypool did to Nathan Gary. It was the most abysmal matchup of the whole week when the Steelers salted that game away with Claypool outrunning Gary by 20 yards. It was just comical. So Mark Andrews, field day coming. I say it every week. Remember, I posted about a month ago on the Fantasy Hack Twitter. I was like, start your tight end against the Eagles. They have no linebackers. And every week the tight ends have a field day. Last week it was Claypool. Yeah, he's not a tight end, but he was still matched up on a linebacker. Who do you start for the Eagles? Miles Sanders? Maybe Travis Fulgham.
Let's say, is he a thing, Eagles fans?
I mean, really.
He's as close to a thing as there is. 10 for 1. Can't argue. Against the Steelers...
I want to believe he's a thing, but now here comes getting Marcus Peters on him and double covering him because we have no other receivers of note. So Greg Ward's gonna have a big week. That's my prediction. Greg Ward, big week.
Yeah, my prediction is a big week for a lot of Ravens and not many Eagles. And I don't think Wentz is really in the conversation. Certainly not against Baltimore. He isn't.
No.
He's thrown 2 picks again this week, even though one was a Hail Mary at the end of the half or whatever. That's going to be ugly. So start your Ravens, start Justin Tucker, and then bench your Eagles probably pretty much, except for Miles Sanders. If you're desperate enough to start Fulgham, God bless you. I probably wouldn't start any Eagle other than Sanders. And Zach Ertz is a disappearing act. I wouldn't even start him this week.
Yeah.
Looks like he's mailing it in. Cleveland at Pittsburgh. This could be a much better game than we would have thought because Cleveland is starting to ball. And even with Nick Chubb being out, we were always saying that they were going to trade one of those guys. Not anymore. It helps to have two studs, and Kareem Hunt's stepping right in. Be curious to see what happens because Pittsburgh has that good D. But you know what? Hey, if Travis Fulgham can catch 10 balls, maybe OBJ can catch 5. But you're starting Kareem Hunt and probably OBJ. That's probably it for Cleveland.
Hey, before we... Because I did this with Pittsburgh the other day. Hey, but before we talk about Cleveland starting the ball, their W's are against the Bengals, the football team, the Cowboys, and the Colts. So
Colts is a pretty impressive win. Then
I'll give them that with that defense. Yeah, but that
was their best win of the season. I didn't see that coming. I thought the Colts were going to roll them.
But as far as
in Pittsburgh,
yeah, I
don't think they're going to get the dub here, but. Let's see what happens. Pittsburgh didn't impress me against Philadelphia. I thought they would have killed Philadelphia. Philadelphia was in that game until late in the game when they missed a 57-yarder that would have given them the lead. We'll see. We'll see. Who are you starting for Pittsburgh? You starting James Conner? Probably
volume.
You going to start Claypool, or was that a 1-week wonder?
I don't know. I've seen
flex.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of articles that said Juju is droppable at this point. Add Chase Claypool.
That's.
I don't know if I agree with it, but
who would have thought?
Which, by the way, the Steelers.
I'm not sold on any of those Steeler guys. I really am not.
Yeah, Steelers are 4-0. You know who against? The Giants, the Broncos, the Texans, and the Eagles. So this game's going to be a test for both teams. See which one of you's for real.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game. Out of all the games we've talked about so far, that would be one I'd like to watch. But instead, it's at the same time slot as the Eagles-Ravens game, and I'll be forced to sit there and watch my team get destroyed. But look for that to be one of the good games of the day, hopefully. But really, not a whole lot of fantasy studs in this thing.
No.
Even Roethlisberger's not. He used to be a staple. He's probably a backup for most teams if he's on your roster.
Yeah.
And we got the Nick Foles Chicago Bears at the Carolina Panthers. Carolina coming off a win.
Surprisingly 3-2 Carolina Panthers with no CMC.
There's rumblings that he will be back for Week 7. He's being evaluated if he can be activated for.
He needs to hurry the hell up.
This week's game. I believe in tomorrow, I think tomorrow, but Mike Davis has been pretty good. I don't see why you would need to rush CMC. Mike Davis has been holding down the fort pretty good. So,
are the Bears the worst 4-1 team in the league?
In the history of football, probably. It was a quarterback carousel. Foles and Trubisky. Foles been doing good though. I like Foles. Their defense has been playing pretty good. Just the front, not the secondary. Secondary still sucks.
I don't think you're starting Foles in fantasy just yet.
Absolutely not. I picked him up in one league because it was like a 16-team league. So there's not many people to go around. So I picked up Foles. He's on my bench. But I will not be starting him anytime soon.
Yeah, other than edging out the GOAT by a point on Thursday night, they've beaten the Lions, the Giants, the Falcons. So you may be onto something with the worst 4-1 team.
Yeah, I think they'll probably lose this week. And who are you starting for Carolina? Are you starting Mike Davis?
Are we starting Robbie Anderson now? Is that a conversation we now have to have?
Absolutely. I love Robbie Anderson.
Him and I think DJ Moore. I benched DJ Moore this week for Chark, and Chark had 1 point and Moore had 100 yards. So, Teddy Bridgewater. Say what you will, man. He's getting it done. He's a guy I like to root for, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's what he did last year when Breeze was out. He's
one of those guys, when you look at the waiver wire and you see Teddy Bridgewater, really, it's hard to make that call, but you know what? He's paying dividends.
Yeah.
Panthers fans have got to be pleased. Who would have thought?
Yeah, especially they probably thought this year was a wash. Riverboat Ron left town. Cam left town. The biggest name on the roster is CMC.
So, yeah, they're quietly kind of just lurking in the background. Oh, and here's a great one. Detroit at Jacksonville. The Lions might get the dub this week.
I'm loving that Matt Stafford matchup. I know I have him starting in a couple leagues. Just because of that alone, I think I have Wentz in one league, and I'm like taking turns switching Wentz and Stafford out, and this is definitely a Stafford week.
Oh yeah,
line's even on this game. It's like -3.5 to Detroit.
I like Detroit. I guess I can't pick that as my my bold prediction since it's
both teams suck too much.
And who do you start? Like Kenny Golladay? Like that's it.
What about Hawkinson?
No.
Touchdown dependent.
Yeah.
Jacksonville, he's still got the running back.
Oh, James Jones or what? No, not James Jones. What's his name?
Gosh, I think it's James Robinson, isn't it?
Yes, James Robinson.
I'll have another beer here. Memory's starting to go bad. But he's on my roster, and I've been getting very good production out of him.
Minshew had a respectable fantasy game last week.
Chark killing me. I don't know what happened there. I'd love to start him against Detroit, but after he went out of the game, if he's not 100% healthy, I'm not starting him. Keelan Cole had a pretty decent day, but I'm not going there. I really don't know anybody else other than Chark that I would start, and I don't even think I'll start him until he's healthy. No tight ends of note.
Yeah, no, not in that game.
Yeah, that's one. Looks like you'll be suffering through bad football just like I will. At least maybe Lamar Jackson can be entertaining when I watch my Eagles get crushed.
One team's 1-4, one team's 1-3. Ugh.
Yeah, New York Jets at Miami.
Huh? Start your Dolphins.
What happened last week with the Miami? They actually looked like an NFL franchise.
Yeah, Fitzmagic kept his gig one more week.
I still think it's going to be two a time sometime this season, but we're not there yet. It actually would be a pretty good week to start them against the Jets, but we already said don't start any New York players, Jets or Giants, so we're not even going to talk about the Jets. No more Le'Veon Bell. So, yeah, if you want to go with Frank Gore, God bless you. He'll probably get you 65 yards and no touchdowns. Miami.
Devontae Parker.
What about your boy, Jack? Your running back.
Mike Gesicki. No, Mike Gesicki. I like Mike Gesicki. 5 catches, 91 yards last week.
Yeah, but my problem is first time since the first week he's showing up.
He's a good bench tight end. I know most people don't keep 2 tight ends, but I keep 2 tight ends, and I
do too.
Him on the bench.
But you know what? Against the Jets, he's a good play.
That's true. That's very correct. But no, going back to Gaskin, I don't know. I have to just I forgot. Tons of people got hurt. I had to start someone. I started Gaskin. It worked out. No, but is it time to call the Jordan Howard signing a bust after nothing last week?
Maybe.
Oh man, who's all down there? What, Gaskin, Jordan Howard, Matt Breida? Man, there's just you never know.
Yeah, they paid Jordan Howard a lot of money to do nothing.
That's right.
Hey, good for him.
Myles Gaskin. He's probably making 10 times what Myles Gaskin makes.
Yeah.
Sporgy. ChristopherMedia.net.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 2019, and someone is waiting for the previews to start in a movie theater.
Hey, you want anything? Popcorn? Soda? No, nothing?
This has been The Sounds of the Old World. Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Masspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Masspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Masspeth, and as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new. Our everyday low prices. The Home Depot. Now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Masspeth. And always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot. How doers get more done.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Sporgy.
All right, well, we got the bad football out of the way. Now let's go to a good game. Green Bay at Tampa Bay.
Ooh.
Battle of the Bays.
Give me that.
Aaron Rodgers coming off a bye. I like the chances that he's going to get the best of Tom Brady, but you just don't know.
Aaron Rodgers off a bye and Brady off a bad beat.
Yeah, Brady's pissed. This could be a good game. There could be some good energy.
It's going to be a very good game.
Yeah, maybe we see the Pack get a loss because that Tampa Bay defense is pretty good.
What's the deal with Aaron Jones? Is he coming back yet, or is he?
I think he's playing.
That week off could be helpful. I know. What about Devontae Adams? Is he ready to come back? I think he was pretty close.
Allegedly.
So keep your eye on the injury report for the Pack. The Pack could be back if they're getting some weapons back.
Oh, this is a big game. Come on, they're playing.
I get still pissed that I finally picked up Alan Lazard King, and he right away got hurt. I think he's out for several weeks, so get that. MVS, dead to me. Every week I think this is going to be his week, and it's never his week. So I think he's like the J.J. Arcega-Whiteside of the Packers. Maybe that's it. These hyphenated names just not getting it done, other than Edwards-Helaire.
Right.
You know, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside for the Eagles has, I think Travis Fulgham has more yards in 2 games than Whiteside has in his career, 2 years.
It's possible. And it's funny. He was good in college. I don't know what happened in the pros to him.
They don't play him. Like, he doesn't get targets. That's what I just want to. Can we just put him in for one game and just give him target and see how he does? We don't even do anything. He just sits on the bench. Like, at least give him a chance.
So with your tight ends, we already talked about the Green Bay tight end. You're starting him. Tampa Bay, no more O.J. Howard. Is that going to bring any more life to Cameron Brayton and Gronk?
Oh, Brady likes Cameron Brate. He said he was. They said on the telecast last week I was watching that Brady does like Cameron Brate, but I don't know. It's just, I mean, what did he do? Did Brate catch a touchdown? I think he did.
Yes.
But really, I can't start a backup tight end in fantasy football. I can't do it.
So this is a game where you're really going to have to check that injury report. I've heard Godwin was running today.
Good.
I hope he comes back because I have him in a couple leagues and I miss him. So if Godwin's back, you want to start him. Mike Evans has been hobbled with an ankle, but even with one ankle, he seems to be a pretty good play.
Yep. Doing what Mike Evans does.
Maybe Brate if you're desperate.
Let's be honest, you're starting no Tampa Bay tight ends.
Maybe
I will
Brate,
not be.
but it's touchdown dependent at best.
Yeah.
Same.
No, we do have Waller's out this week. A couple other guys. I mean, maybe there might be some desperate people out there.
Jared Cook's out this week. Hunter Henry's out this week. Hollister for Seattle. And there's some depth issues at the tight end position.
I think I'm going to have to go Chris Herndon in one league this week. And,
oh, God.
That is really, really bad.
Don't do it. No New York.
Can I do better than that? I better be able to do better than that. I'll be scrounging the waiver wire this week.
And then we have another good game on the West Coast, Los Angeles Rams at the San Francisco 49ers. Although the Niners, I don't know what's going on there, man, but they lost to the Eagles and the Dolphins in consecutive weeks. It's getting ugly. Think they can give the Rams a game? One thing you know about the NFL is nothing's forever. So maybe this is the week the Niners bounce back. But
are they going to magically find an offense?
Yeah, it's been ugly there. They've been ravaged by injuries.
That is another place Antonio Brown could go.
Where Antonio Brown? Well, I was going to say
Le'Veon Bell, as I said.
Oh, yeah. NFL rumors have the Rams as a possible Le'Veon Bell destination, but the top two clearly have been the Bears for whatever reason and the Patriots, from what I have seen.
The Patriots.
The Patriots. I mean, they do have. Well, I mean,
I'd like to see Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown go to the Niners.
That'd be great.
Reunited
Their egos are both too big. That'd be hilarious. Well, I guess they did play together and it worked.
Yeah.
You never know.
The Niners could use help at both of those positions.
Mm-hmm.
Could happen.
I think the Niners just lost Bosa, and that D-line has not been the same.
And if you had Jared McKinnon, he's now trash because Mostert's back.
Is there any San Francisco 49er running back you want?
No.
Mostert, maybe?
No.
It's a spin the wheel situation.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there any 49ers you even want?
Kittle, end of list.
Kittle.
Yeah.
Forgot about him. Yep. Kittle or bust in San Francisco. And then what do you do with the Rams? Robert Woods had a big day last week.
He's been having big days. He got paid at the beginning of the year, and he showed life after last year's letdown.
And Cooper Kupp, man. I mean, every year I hear like big hype on this guy, and he's like a hit or miss guy too.
Mm-hmm. As a former owner, I can attest to that.
And who do you start in the backfield?
You don't. This is another one
Now you got Cam Akers is back in.
Oh, it sucks. I bought a lot of Cam Akers. He gets hurt.
3 guys. Yeah. It's like the Ravens, only the Ravens guys actually do anything. And these guys, none of them are any good.
This would be another inconsequential backfield, in my opinion. Don't start any of these people. Don't roster them. Don't start them. Just let them be out there and be. They're all going to give you average fantasy numbers.
Let me ask you this: would you start Jared Goff?
Bye week again for Russell Wilson.
Maybe.
Yes.
I'm going to have to do it. Enthusiastic, yes.
Not enthusiastic. I had to think about it, but I mean...
I'll tell you who I'm starting.
I feel like you could do worse.
He's averaging like low 20 fantasy points a game. Like, yeah, there are worse people you could start as your quarterback.
I like the Rams defense in this game too.
Well, I mean, you get some sack points because of Aaron Donald, but the Niners have looked horrible. Why not?
Richard Sherman's allegedly going to be back soon.
Allegedly.
2 disgruntled teams coming off a brutal loss. Kansas City embarrassed by the Raiders and Buffalo embarrassed by the Titans. 2 pissed off teams. This should be good. Buffalo, pretty solid defense against that Pat Mahomes-led Chiefs offense. You're starting Edwards-Helaire, you're starting Mahomes, you're starting Tyreek Hill, and you're starting Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Where is the game?
Buffalo.
It is in Buffalo? This is one of those games where it's so close, I usually just give it to the home team. But I don't know. This is the Chiefs. This is Patrick Mahomes.
I can't see the Chiefs laying 2 eggs in a row, and I think that Raider game woke them up a little bit.
I'm not betting against Mahomes.
Say what you will, but the Raider game, those division games are always dicey.
Come back to haunt you.
And Josh Allen came down to earth. We'll see what he's got against the Chiefs. The Chiefs defense, by the way, thanks for that -1 you got me this week.
Yeah, I feel you.
I dropped the Bills defense for them. Of course, the Bills didn't do so good tonight either. So,
hey, by the way, I'd like to point out
Bills defense because I thought they weren't going to play, and then I picked up the Chiefs and I got a -1.
I'd like to point out Josh Allen coming back to earth is still giving you 21 fantasy points. So he's still a guy you're starting.
He's a must start. Stephon Diggs got his 100. He's a must start.
John Brown was named out like late today, and I was screwed because I had him in a few leagues. I lost because of John Brown being hurt. Now it's sad that I had to start him, but
that's a guy that I would put in that don't believe every year. Since he's been in Arizona, you hear hype on John Brown. He's always a fantasy disappointment.
I see him at wide receiver too, and I'm like, what the heck? But I don't know. I should probably stop buying that.
Yeah, want none of John Brown. Played that game. Any of the Bills' backfield?
Are we pronouncing Zach Moss?
No.
Is he out of the equation now?
Don't do it.
I don't think I have any Bills running backs in any league.
I don't either.
I think I have Singletary in one league.
I think I had Singletary and I dropped him.
You're pretty ruthless with the cuts.
All you need to know is that Singletary, when Moss got hurt, he was the guy, and he still didn't rise to be a viable starter. And now Moss will be coming back soon, and no. Not going there. Forget about it.
Hey, Jack, I only cut for people who are doing better.
Yeah.
You're very ruthless with those cuts. Whenever we bring someone up, yeah, I cut him. A former owner of Cooper Cup. Yeah, I cut.
That was like just in a past season. I don't own any Cooper Cup this year.
I had, you know what, Chris? I had one of those Cooper Cup seasons, and I was like, never again. This guy is all hype, and he doesn't perform. And then the next year he comes out, has a big year, and then the next year you take him, and he's a dud again. So no, fool me once.
Yeah,
that's it for me. I don't have him in any leagues. I haven't drafted him since that one year he let me down. Let him be somebody else's problem. Hey, if he comes through, fine. No regrets.
Yeah.
He's dead to me. And the finale of the week, the originally scheduled Monday night game, which will still take place at the 8:15 Eastern time slot, is the Arizona Cardinals at the Dallas Cowboys. Kyler Murray, D-Hop licking their chops going against this pathetic Dallas team.
Oh, as someone who owns a lot of DeAndre Hopkins, let's go. It's 40 fantasy points.
We're going to Dairy Queen with the D-Hop. We're going to get the Dilly Bar at the DQ for the D-Hop because this is going to be a field day for Kyler Murray, D-Hop. We got Kenyon Drake probably.
Please, Kenyon Drake, please come
See,
back.
now let's talk. It seems Chase Edmonds right now is the back to own.
Oh, man.
You know what? I still think that Edmonds is the second stringer here, but he seems to be doing more with his opportunities. It's only a matter of time if this continues that he's going to replace Drake, I think, in that role. But for now, maybe it's a two-headed monster, which isn't good. But I think this week there might even be room for both of them to rack up some points.
Who's even their tight end in Arizona? I probably ask this question every week.
That's a very, very good question.
Well, the fact that we don't know means it's probably not a viable start. But
is it Charles Clay? No, there's no way. I gotta look this up.
I got the depth chart right here. Hang on, let's see. Arizona. We have Darrell Daniels, Dan Arnold, Jordan Thomas, and Max Williams.
I remember Dan Arnold. Who?
Thinking they're blocking tight ends because I don't recall seeing anything with those guys.
Yeah, all
Darrell Daniels. Is that the other brother, Darrell?
Yeah, right.
So forget about it.
So yeah, there's two Cardinals you're starting, I think is what we're getting at. And then the Cowboys. So everybody's fantasy value who's not Amari Cooper is up in the air now with Andy Dalton coming in, right? As far as receivers.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with CD Lamb. I don't know what to do with Michael Gallup. I think Lamb has already eclipsed Gallup on that totem pole, but who knows? With a new quarterback, things could reshuffle. Sergeant Schultz is the tight end.
Yeah. I mean, and Zeke is Zeke.
And Zeke is a must start. I'm thinking they will probably lean more on that running game for two reasons. Number one, because Dalton won't be as effective as Dak. And number two, it'll slow down the game and keep I think they'll try to do the running game to keep the Cardinals offense off the field. Good luck with that. So it should be a pretty big day for Zeke. I know you can't not start Amari Cooper, but we just don't know what we're going to see with Dalton. I mean, stay tuned for further details, and we get to wait all the way till Monday night to see it, the last game of the week.
Yeah, sure, this is not the season Uncle Jerry wanted, but what are you going to do?
That's karma for not paying Dak.
Dallas is winning the division with what, a 2-3 record, is it?
Well,
the Eagles are 1-3-1. Dallas is 2-3. I think the Giants are 0-5, and I think the Washington football team's 1-4 or 1-3 or something. It's an ugly division. It really is.
It's a dumpster fire this year.
When the Eagles were in first place last week, I said that they were trying to win Monopoly with Mediterranean and Baltic. So maybe we'll give the Cowboys Connecticut Avenue.
You guys fight for the basement this year, and that. Well, I don't know. Washington's down there too.
Somebody's going to win that thing.
And isn't there
going to Philly or Dallas? But
isn't there an extra playoff spot this year too?
Yeah.
Hey, we might have another year where a losing team goes to the playoffs.
Very likely have the worst record in all of football of the playoff teams.
What's that?
Whoever wins the NFC East will probably have a worse record than all the wild cards. Somebody's got to win it, though. Okay, bold predictions. First, I'm going to announce last week's result. Chris had it in the bag, Minnesota over Seattle, and inexplicably,
Russell.
The Vikings declined to kick the field goal that would have put them up by 8. They went for that fourth and goal with 1 inch to go, got stopped, and Russell Wilson took it from there. So very close, almost, Chris. Good pick, but they didn't get it done for you. Mike Zimmer should have kicked that field goal. A lot of people really don't blame him for that, though. If you can't make 1 inch in the NFL, you probably don't deserve to win, and they didn't get it done. So Jack's pick was the Chargers over the Saints. That was another one that they had it.
Yeah.
Couldn't get done, and Drew Brees came back, tied the game, and they won.
Chargers just stopped playing halfway through the game. Came out of the halftime. They never came out of the halftime tunnel. They didn't show up.
But they even had the game late, and they just let it. They snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, and it certainly wasn't Justin Herbert's fault. He played a hell of a game and probably deserved the dub, but credit the Saints. They got it done. And I picked the Eagles over the Steelers. I will say there was a point in that game with like 4 minutes left where the Eagles tried a 57-yard field goal that would have given them the lead. They missed it. The Steelers got the ball in midfield and went right down and scored and salted the game away. So it was closer than the score indicates, but we went 0 for 3 this week, boys.
A wise man once said, do not bet with your emotions.
Well, and I knew that when I did, but I just, you guys went first last week, and I didn't really have anything left on the board that I liked. And, I don't even have the lines for these games. I have to pull that up. You guys can pick while I look that up.
I got mine.
You got yours?
Right out there.
Yeah. Bills over the Chiefs.
Oh.
I like that Bills defense.
Bills Mafia.
Oh, that's a Chiefs favored by 3. Buffalo's at home. Taking the home dog, not a bad idea. Can you believe the Dallas Cowboys are favored by 3 points over Arizona? Is it even fair? Is it even fair for me to take Arizona?
Are they at home?
It's
Dallas is at home against the Cardinals. I almost feel guilty about saying that's my bold prediction, but you took a 3-point underdog. Why can't I?
Well, only 2 days have been. It's only been 2 days since the Dak injury.
I will not take the Eagles over the Ravens this week. I won't be that stupid. Green Bay is an underdog at Tampa Bay. Wow. I might have to go to Vegas this week and make some money. Jeez. Miami -8 over the Jets. They'll cover. New England 9.5 over Denver. So I'm going to take Arizona over Dallas. I almost feel guilty doing this, but if they're a 3-point underdog, and I don't think, who knows? Maybe they'll rally around behind Big Red, but I'm taking Arizona all the way. I know it's kind of a lame, not really that bold of a prediction, but it's a 3-point underdog, just like Chris's. That leaves the rest of the board up to you, Jack.
I don't know if it's bold, but there's a big game for the AFC North between the Brownies and the Steelers. Brownies 4-1, Steelers 4-0 in Pittsburgh. Give me the Browns 5-1. Here we go.
That's a 5.5-point underdog.
I'm picking the Browns in a big game.
I like that offense better than Pittsburgh's. I get on board with that, Jack.
Steelers are kind of a fraud if you look at the teams they have beat.
Yeah, they haven't beat anybody.
That should be a good game. At least that'll be a good one to watch. There's some bad football to watch this week, but there's a couple gems in there if you look for them.
Hey, the fact
let me write those down. We got Chris taking
the Bills
Buffalo over Kansas City. I'm taking the Arizona Cardinals over Dallas, and Jack has the boldest of predictions. Cleveland over Pittsburgh. So there you have it. There's our bold predictions. I was thinking we do all these bold predictions. Any bold predictions on like fantasy players? Somebody that's going to either come out of nowhere, or I'm going to call Mark Andrews is going to get at least 20 points on the Eagles. That's not really a bold prediction, but I always see how bad those Eagles linebackers. I think Andrews is going to go off. 2 touchdowns, 20 total points. Probably get about 80 yards. That's my prediction. I won't even call it a bold prediction. Anybody else? Any individual stuff?
Take a peek at the schedule again.
Andrews, 20-plus points is mine.
Who's going to ball out this week?
What about you, Jack? Anybody?
Valdez-Scantling, over 100 yards and a touchdown.
Oh, man. Good one, Jack. MVS. Boy, I'll believe that when I see it.
So will I. It's against the Buccaneers.
That's a huge reach, but, that's a bold prediction. Mine wasn't. Chris, I know he's going to take a jet here. Just kidding.
No, I am going to take Adam Thielen's going to have himself a day playing that shitty Atlanta defense.
20 points.
Let's go with 100 yards, 2 TDs.
Bold.
So,
okay. I mean, D-Hop's the obvious pick this week, but...
And that might be a violation of me to take Mark Andrews, so I'll go with one other one because that's almost unfair. I will say Joe Mixon gets 100 yards and a touchdown against the Colts. What am I saying? That's a bold prediction, at least.
Wow.
Mixon gets 100 yards against the Colts and a touchdown. So that's a little bit better than my Andrews pick. But all right, well, there's some bold predictions. I think that's about it for this week. Let's just hope no more COVID crap happens, man. I volunteered to be a commissioner in this Yahoo League, and it's complicated because there's 4 leagues that make up one big league, and then they have an overall champion. And they needed a commissioner, and I said I would do it. Now I find myself every week, we have a new rule that when there's a game in question, you can declare backups that if they play, they supersede what you have in your lineup. So now I got to go into Yahoo tonight and see all the declared players and replace them. And God, let's just have a week of no more positives. Keep everybody healthy. Keep them out of the public. Wear your mask. Wash your hands.
Yeah.
Be good.
The leagues I'm a commissioner in, ESPN is allowing you to adjust the IR spot. I just brought everybody up to 4. We all got 4 IR spots now. Done.
It's really been and then you got people complaining. I lost Derrick Henry this week. I thought he wasn't going to play. I'm like, you know what?
So what? I sat Josh Allen. It was my call.
It's 2020, dude.
Yeah.
It's 2020.
Yeah.
Hold the punches. Do what you can.
Yeah, I'm the guy that pulled all my bills.
I dropped the Bills defense in 3 leagues because I thought there was no way they were going to play.
Why'd the Patriots defense, right? I'm on the golf course, couple beers, and me oh shit, I need a fucking defense. My game just got rescheduled the next week. So
I picked up the Chiefs defense and got a -1.
I picked up the Philly defense.
Well, they were leading the league in sacks going into last week, but
it was the best available at the time. It was 11 a.m. Oh crap! All right.
Hope to pick up the Bills again in some of those leagues. I dropped them, but they'll probably go. Somebody else will probably snag them. Well, all right. Let's just hope for a COVID-free week here, week 6.
Yeah, everyone's been behaving except Tennessee. Let's keep that going.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. So, follow us on Twitter at The Fantasy Hack. You can email The Fantasy Hack at ChristopherMedia.net if you'd like to drop us a line that way. We're there Sunday morning. In some respect, we're there tweeting. You got questions, ask us. We'll give you our advice if you want it. We might even give you our advice if you don't want it. ChristopherMedia.net. Go there, hit the Amazon banner, hit the PayPal button if you want to help us out. Check us out on Amazon Music. They're in the podcast game now, so we're there. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, the iHeartRadio app. Wherever there's a podcast, you can check us out. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Best wishes to Dak Prescott.
Second that.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 2019, and someone is getting up to use the bathroom at the stadium.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, sorry. Excuse me? You mind if I just squeeze by here?
This has been The Sounds of the Old World. Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
There's a new Home Depot now open on Maurice Avenue in Maspeth. And as home improvement projects go, this is a big one. Use the product locator on our app for an in-store map to find what you need fast. And check out our new pickup lockers. They make online shopping a breeze. Of course, one thing's not new, our everyday low prices. The Home Depot, now open near Maurice Avenue and Long Island Expressway in Maspeth, and always open at HomeDepot.com. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.